The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Oh my goodness, what an epic season. Season 5, finale, Burn Book Revisited. Guys, I'm going to keep it short and cute. Let's get into it. And before we do, subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications if you have. Let's go. All right. 8 Lisas. What else? Whitney being messy, messy, messy. Always coming for Lisa. Angie getting pushed into the debacle between Lisa and Whitney. I can't even say my words properly. Well, before we get into the meat of it, I kind of want to talk about this. Heather Gay was done so dirty in the intro when she had her pre produced monologue. And this seems to be happening a lot with Heather Gay. So the confessional looks for Salt Lake City, it's the top half. And when they were showing all the ladies sitting down, most of them had full outfits on. And then Heather Gay, you see her in this pink top and then like army green pants. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not a cute look. So I just wanted to point that out. Producers, editors, that was a little shady. This was probably Lisa's dream come true. She walks out and she sees 8 Lisas. It's just like, oh, Lisa over here, Lisa over there. And I loved how bad the wigs were on each of the women. I think, maybe like 2 of them, it looked half decent. And then when it came to Brittany, she just had like her blonde-ish hair, and then she just put the wig on top. And she didn't even bother hiding her blonde hair. So I thought that was really funny. Now, before we get into the drama, we got to give a special shout out to the people working at the resort. The girl at front desk, she's just like, I just started work. It's like the morning, the afternoon, not this. Ugh, you Americans, 8 Lisas, what's going on over here? So there's that. And then the guy taking their order, he looks so young. And then every time they order something, they're like, I love that. I love that. And then they like say it all together. In my head, the picture I was getting is, when you see like a bunch of seagulls and, they're, I don't know, talking, making noise, whatever, the 8 Lisas saying, I love that. It was, I don't know, it reminded me of the seagulls. Okay, guys, the round table of each of the women doing impressions of Lisa, it started off cute. I think even Whitney was, talking about her 60K rings. Angie, even Mary had like a fun impression. Who was it? I think it was Mary or one of the girls talking about, oh, I love your new G-Wagon, but like if it were me, I would get whatever it was. But all the girls going around, they basically depicted Lisa Barlow being super vain, vain, very superficial, very vain, and no one said anything funny like she's kind or she's funny in other ways. The common thread for all of them depicting Lisa was that she's vain. Anyways, Whitney starts talking about the 60K rings, but then it goes south when she stands up and then she showcases the tags. And Lisa's like, I'm fake, with her, I don't know, her Lisa mannerisms. And Whitney just gives it to her that, yeah, you're maybe a little bit more fake than you come off. Now, when Whitney walked away and you could see the tags, at first it was like, wait, did she like forget the tags? And then the whole like how Lisa buys a bunch of stuff, returns it. I'm actually going to defend Lisa. I don't know if she's one of those women who buys a ton of stuff and then returns it, because if you were to do that, and if you were to do that at notable places like, I don't know, Neiman Marcus, Saks, Nordstrom, heck, even Zara, they would clock you in the system. Especially places where you're buying items that are, hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Most of the time, they like to give you an experience. So at places like that, when you shop, they like to ensure that you have a profile with them. And for the sales associates, it helps them build rapport with you. So if there's something fabulous that comes in Lisa's size, maybe it's like some brands that she loves buying, like Tom Ford, those Tom Ford pants from 3 years ago, but this year Lisa's going to buy the latest Tom Ford. If you're that type of client where you got to get the latest, the best items from all these designer brands, then heck yeah, they're going to know who you are. They're going to look at your purchase history. The sales associates are going to know you. And even if you aren't going in to pick it up, and let's say you have other people going in and buying things for you, they can only do that so many times. So when people say, oh, someone's buying, someone's returning, you're going to get clocked. Okay. So in this case, I don't buy that Lisa is buying stuff, wearing it, returning it. Now, if you are a shopaholic, trust me, I have my times of the year, or if there's like a really good sale going on online, especially, in the months of the holidays, I will do like a haul. I'll buy, I don't know, clothing, a number of items where it's like hundreds of dollars. And I know I maybe bought like 8 things. If things go well, maybe 3 or 4 pieces I'll keep because it fits me properly. And then the items that don't fit me, I tried it on at home, it just doesn't work, and I return it within the week or the 2 weeks, within the month, whatever the returns exchanges policy is for that store. That I could see happening, but the wearing it, returning it, I don't know about that. So very tacky on Whitney's part, constantly poking at the bear, and the bear being Lisa, obviously. So yeah, the whole return thing, Whitney constantly poking at Lisa, that was not cute. So that's how the whole ordeal starts. But then they get into the whole blogger drama. Okay, couple things about the blogger drama. It sounds like Whitney had Lisa in mind, and then she enlisted this blogger, and the blogger is up and at him, guys. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really funny how on the show they just kept calling him a blogger, even though if we want to get specific with terms, I would say he's a podcaster. I mean, a blog is like so 2000s where you have a website and you're, writing. So let's call him what he is. He's a podcaster. And I thought it was interesting. They had no mention of him in this episode, even though his antics were heavily talked about. I guess I shouldn't say antics. I guess he was a part of it, but this is where it gets messy. Like, I feel like if you are, let's think about Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, hopefully she gets out of her conservatorship. Wendy Williams always said, I mind my own business in Jersey. I go over to New York to, do the show, and then I like go back to Jersey. She wouldn't really rub shoulders with the celebrities she wouldn't talk about them. She would read them for filth, honey. So this is my whole thing with any podcaster in this space. And obviously, I have a very, very, very tiny channel here, but it doesn't matter. This is still my opinion, and I stand by it. Um, I feel like if you're in this sort of entertainment space and you are rubbing shoulders with the people you talk about, things are going to get messy. And if things are going to get messy, I think you kind of have to know that going into it and rubbing shoulders with these people. And but it seems like the housewives, they also love using the bloggers, the podcasters, when it's to their benefit, whether it be releasing information about the other one, whether it be promoting their businesses, whatever it might be. But then when the bloggers, the podcasters, they end up saying their truth, and that truth works against these housewives, then it's, oh, the bloggers, the podcasters, like, oh, nothing is sacred. So back to Whitney. Long story short, back to Whitney. It sounds like there were multiple conversations between Whitney and Adam, and I don't know if Whitney is still in her healing and her filling journey and she just missed what Adam said, or she just was not following along. It sounds like someone said to Adam, maybe it was Dana, not Dana Wilkie, how it's someone with the not a tequila brand, someone with an alcohol brand who started the campaign against Whitney and her Prism jewelry uh, being taken from like Alibaba, AliExpress. And so obviously the first and only person that really comes to mind is Lisa Barlow. You know, she's in the tequila business. Um, I don't know. I think that whole thing was convoluted. Like, so if I will say, even for this podcaster, it's like, so did you tell her this? Like, I could kind of see how Whitney went on a spiral, and the things between her and Lisa are not good to begin with. That thing was confusing. Regardless, Whitney is dumping it all on this blogger. It sounds like she enlisted the help of the blogger, and when she couldn't get the tangible proof that she needed to pin it all on Lisa, she then threw this podcaster under the bus. That's where we're at. And then Meredith Marr, she steps in. Meredith also knows this podcaster very well. Up and Adam, if you guys watch his lives and stuff, he's been very open about how him and Meredith, they've hung out a few times. And like once in a while, I do enjoy like these major podcasters talk about rubbing shoulders with these housewives or these celebs, because it's kind of like, in a way, it's one of us rubbing shoulders with these housewives. So it's like, oh, what'd you do? What was the housewife like, you know? Um, so good for Meredith. She came to his defense. She's like, I know this podcaster and like none of this happened. And so they're all just looking at Whitney like, Whitney girl, get it through your head. It's not Lisa. Who knows? It could be a random person in Idaho. Sorry, Idaho, to pick on you. It could be a random person in Idaho that started this campaign against Whitney. So if Whitney wants to pick a fight with someone, pick it with the random person in Idaho and not Lisa. Okay, guys, as if the Whitney, Lisa, Meredith podcaster drama wasn't enough, they just started the day, and already this breakfast, lunch, brunch, lunch is already a hot mess. So, Whitney drama, okay, that ends. And then Brittany turns to the group and she has the audacity to tell the ladies, guys, I'm still mad at you guys. I'm still mad at the group. And then Meredith's like, well, I stand by what I said, because Brittany was upset at the harsh words Meredith said in the Sprinter van. And Meredith's like, well, yeah, I stand by what I said. Like, you're the one who was like recording us. And then Mary steps in and, further talks about the recording. And it's just a shit show. And then we got Mary and Brittany duking it out. Mary cries. Sorry, not Mary cries. Brittany cries. She walks off. And as if it couldn't get any worse, it gets worse. And then Angie chases Brittany, and then Mary doesn't like it. And then Meredith, who was it, Meredith or one of the other girls, was supporting Mary. What a shit show, but in the best way possible. All right, so the ladies split off into two groups. So the group that went horse riding, we got Lisa, we got Bronwyn, we got Mary, and we have Meredith, and Mary looks kind of upset. So Meredith brings it up to her, like what's going on? What are you mad about? And then Mary's like, oh, I feel like Mary just feels like it's all or nothing. Friendships with her, like either you're team Mary, and if I don't like someone, you also can't like that person. And Lisa, Bronwyn, they're just like, oh, did you tell her? Like, what are you confused by? And Mary's like, yeah, I told her that I did. And the ladies are like, oh, okay, well then that does make a difference. So I thought it was interesting how instead of trying to calm Mary down and come to Angie's defense. Lisa didn't come to Angie's defense. They're almost helping Mary split up with Angie, or let a divide take place, let a crack take place and make that crack even worse. So that was interesting to see. But the girls that went to make ceviche, we had Whitney, Angie, Brittany, and Heather. They just had a good time. I mean, from what we got on the show, I don't know if it made it to the cutting room floor, but from what we saw, they just were having a good time, you know? They weren't egging each other on like, "Oh, yeah, you should continue being mad at that one from whatever happened at lunch." So, it was interesting to see the, divide between the 2 groups.